We'll take a look at how to identify resources that are missing a particular tag. To start off, we'll go to Automation, Catalog, and we'll take a look at what's known as the tag cardinality policy. This exists for Azure, AWS, and GCP. We'll go ahead and apply something like this. This report will enumerate all tag keys and their unique values. So that way we can have an understanding of how many tags and how many permutations of those tags that we have inside of our cloud environments. So you would fill this out. And you would apply this policy. I already have one applied, so we'll go ahead and take a look at that. So we can take a look at the tag cardinality report. And when you have applied this policy and it's finished running, what you'll have is a consolidated incident with the report itself. So we can go ahead and click into this. This can be also delivered via email. And so what we know from this is that we have resource level tags. These are the keys that were found. This is the cardinality, and this is the unique values for that. So we understand that we have name, we have EMV, we have owner. Oh, and look, we have another environment. And so with this information, I'm able to infer that we have some cleanup to do on the tag keys. We have multiple iterations or variations of the tag keys that may not cleanly roll up. So the next step after you've identified some key tags or top talkers is to go into the tag dimensions and that's under administration, tag dimensions. And on this page, you'll notice that we have some of these keys that we found here, and we have a clean display name and the tag keys that make up that display name. So in this case, what we have is a name, and then we have all the tag keys that enumerate name. So for example, we could add a tag for environment, right? And it could be EMV like we saw as a permutation. Another could be environment with a capital. And you notice that I spelled it wrong. So that's another thing. We can have misspellings in here, right? And so what we can do is add all the tag key combinations that make up this clean display name of environment. Not going to save that, but you get the idea. So once we identify those top talking tags and we enter them into the tag dimensions, what will happen is we can then start to understand from the billing data which resources or accounts, for example, are missing some of those tags. And how we can quickly visualize that is if we go to the tabular view, and I'll go ahead and refresh this page, and we can add a filter. And you'll notice that on the filter, we have our tags item under here. And you notice that name is under here and environment would be under here if we had added that one. So I've selected name for this example. And this at first glance gives us all the name values. And you'll notice that we have a value of none here. And if we hover over the spending amount, we can see that none represents 90.58% of total spend. So how I interpret that and how I can look at this is that, okay, I can quickly understand that only 9% and some change of the environment is covered through the tag key of name. High level gives me an understanding of where my gaps may be. Now, if we select the filter on none and we scroll down and we throw up something like cloud vendor account and service onto the group by, we can start to understand then which services in which accounts are missing that tag key. And you can see we're missing out on quite a few accounts in various services like S3 and, CloudWatch and things like that. Now, how do we understand this at a more granular level down to the actual resource itself? Well, we have a policy for that as well. And so we can go to the automation catalog and we can take a look at the untagged, right? And we have a flavor of this for every cloud provider. And we can go ahead and apply something like this, right? And we would select our tag, our account information. And more importantly, down at the bottom here, we have tags. And these are the tag key combinations, tag keys that you would enter in order to surface all resources missing those specified tags. So if we put in name, for example, we would surface any resource missing name, or it could be any combination or any tag that you want. Now you can enter multiple tags here and you can have it do any or all. So it just depends on if you're trying to look for a specific tag key or you want to report on a bunch of missing tags, the options are there. And I already have something like this applied, so we can go ahead and take a look at the result. So this is the exact same policy, but it's already finished running. And if we check into here, you can see that these are all the resources that are missing the tags. And you can notice up here that it's for the following tag key of owner. And so what we're understanding is that each one of these items in here is likely missing a tag key of owner. So we can see that it's missing the tag key of owner. We can see that the resource tags that this does have. And we have 184 results, so we can go ahead and make this bigger. We could export it if we wanted to. And you can see that some of these are just test tags, etc. And so we could take a look at that. Now, say we wanted to apply the owner tag to some of these resources, and I'll just pick a few here. Just pick a few at random. Well, you can select any line item, right? It could be any of these. And what you can do is go ahead and add tags. So you could add the tag of owner equals Mike, right? For example, or owner equals, FinOps team, whatever the owner may be. And if you were to continue with this action, we would have a workflow that runs and reaches out and tags these individual resources. That's a quick guide on how to identify particular resources that are missing certain tag keys.